All right, we are live, and today we're going to be doing a training on some new project management related workflow upgrades for Go High Level. So they've got new triggers and new actions in the workflow builder that you can use. And these are all really focused on project management integrations. So we're talking about some upgrades and new triggers and actions for ClickUp, Asana, Notion, Google Contacts, and I forgot one. Asana, ClickUp, Notion, and let me just look at it real quick. There's one more. I'm going to pull up the changelog here for us. We've got some people in this meeting that use other project management tools in combination with HighLevel. And we have some people in this call that are using all in HighLevel. And so I'm going to talk about what these new triggers are. They're all related to integrating your project management CRMs. And we're going to open it up for a quick conversation about why, why you like to use both in combination, see if we can learn anything together here. And I'm going to talk about why I've moved everything into HighLevel. I used to use ClickUp myself, but I don't anymore. So I wanted to pull up the change log for us. And it's right down here. So we've got, I think Airtable was the one I wasn't saying. It was Airtable. So Airtable is a database management software. Um, that's really not quite as much in line with project management. That's what you use to to prepare for like really sophisticated, deep analysis. It allows you to do many to one relationships and one to many relationships. So it's kind of like some of the things Go High Level is establishing with their custom objects. It's very similar to that actually. Like a custom object is, well, I might misspeak. I don't even want to try to explain that in a comparison to Airtable. Many to one means like I'm a person who refers deals to your business. And so the business needs to know who's referring and then all the people that they have referred. So it's like one contact to multiple contacts. And it gets pretty complex when you're looking at the types of databases you can have. So basically, you've got triggers for when new records are added or updated in Airtable, and then a lot of actions which take place after the workflow is initiated. So creating, updating, finding, and deleting records. Really cool. And all these things, you go connect them by, um, you can do, it'll prompt you to connect it right when you set up the trigger or set up the action. And you got the full list here for anybody who wants to know the full list of actions and triggers. But just a lot of integration potential. Like when a document is added to a contact in HighLevel or added to a task, it can automatically add that document in ClickUp. Bob and I were just talking about how there's kind of a few important aspects to project management. You've got your resources for that are dedicated to each client. Some people use Google Drive. A lot of people have Google Drive integrated with ClickUp or HighLevel. So you've got all your documents that pertain to one client, all your SOPs for each type of task. HighLevel has a good system for this. Um, Bob, did you say you were using Notion's note taker? Notion has an AI note taker.
Yes,
Okay. And what other aspects of Notion are you using the most?
I integrate a lot of the uh, AI models that have connectors, and
Okay.
I've created a prompt library and uh,
So it's
other
automatically
tool.
pulling your prompts after you use them into
Right.
the. Okay, cool. That is pretty neat. Um, I expect these are all pretty much the same. They're adding the same types of items for each one. And then we'll show you where these show up. If you're new to HighLevel and you're thinking about using it, but you've got a project management tool you're currently using, HighLevel is like a Zapier or a Make, but in general, connecting everything inside of it is much less expensive and quicker than with Zapier or Make. So I'm just going to go to a new workflow. In my opinion, the main thing that I wanted to talk about on here is I think it's much better to keep all of your systems in one system as much as you can. Um, so I really like to use just high level, and the main reason is the main thing that I'm going to do that I can automate to move things from one pipeline phase to the next, it's usually going to be reaching out to whoever's there's maybe two parties involved in whatever needs to get done at that phase. It's reaching out to the parties involved and getting them to book an appointment or to complete a task. And inside high level, you can send SMS, you can do WhatsApp, you can do email, you can make calls. So it's got all the tools that you need to move that process forward. And it keeps all that communication showing up in one view. So it's just like it's going to have the tools that the AI is going to need to move that project forward. And so I like keeping it all there. And I don't like separating where the communication's happening or where the tasks are being created. I like it just all in one place. Keeps things from being missed. And then when everything is integrated, as AI gets better at just connecting everything inside of the one system and making it work automatically, you're going to have just easier use if everything is in one system. So if you go down to, yeah, see, I was just talking about like associated records, and there's some new custom object actions that I haven't seen before here either. But there are a ton of Notion actions. These are all new right here. This is a ton of stuff, ton of triggers. Oh, this is actually actions. All these different ClickUp integrations. Now, I used to use Zapier and Make to connect my ClickUp to high level, and those flows can be buggy. This is all looking really good though. Cool. And then let's look at the triggers. Yep. New time entry. That's pretty cool. Remember, ClickUp has a time tracker. We use Clockify. It's one of the only things we use that's not in high level because we need some sort of time tracker. Clockify, I believe, works the same way as ClickUp's does. You're just tracking per task. It's not really doing like screenshots or any hardcore monitoring. It records when the employee was saying they were working. And after using all these sorts of different systems, I have ended up finding that just to be the most simple solution. So lots of new triggers. But that's really all I wanted to cover and show you guys those features. I don't know if Mark or Lauren is using ClickUp, Asana, or Notion, or if there's any other main things that you like in Notion, Bob. Um, as far as using AI, the chat, I don't even know if GPT-5 is running on. I'm just thinking of where I would centralize that list of prompts, right? If I wasn't using Notion, I guess you could make,
Create a Google worksheet or
yeah, I think just Google in the Google Drive would
a
be a good
Google
way.
sheet.
Send them in there. But yeah, other than the GPT workflow saving, which I guess I would consider kind of like SOP documentation for the business, or you're using the pipelines in there. They have a pipeline view
Hmm.
and the
Yes,
AI note taker we talked about too, right?
yes.
So I use Fireflies for that. Obviously, high level for pipelines. Anything else in particular you really like about Notion?
Well, being part of August Bradley's Notion Life Design, I have a whole
Bunch of resources.
life design system within Notion. So it's much more than just
Right.
pipelines and stuff. It's a it's geared to be a full life, helping me design the whole my whole system, my whole life.
Okay.
Terrible way of explaining it, but
It just sounds like this guy just put a lot of time really building something awesome in Notion.
it's
And
unbelievable.
sometimes you do get more value out of that than you would by trying to you don't wouldn't want to try to piece it back together if you already built it in a way that's highly functional.
Hmm.
I don't have a whole lot more, guys. The updates haven't been crazy. Nothing super interesting to me. The only thing I'm really excited about that I'm going to do some trainings on soon is Andromeda. We're going to put out a video that shows you how to create custom events and then map them with the Conversions API and the Event Manager. I think that's the coolest thing we have coming up. Other than that, I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground on the changelog for new things to make posts about or to do trainings on. Um, but sometimes it's just good for us to be able to connect and then talk about what's new with us on the first half of this meeting. So I guess I'll see you guys on Thursday. Do you have anything else that I can touch on for you?
Not today.
All right. Well, I'll see you on Thursday, Bob. I'll probably be in touch with you before then.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.